Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. This game's actually on Friday night, but I'm recording it early because we have a ton of work to get done for Saturday stuff. So last night was crazy. As a network, we were one tennis bet away from going 18-0. We went 17-1 on the network. Just an absolute wild Wednesday night. Hopefully we have the same kind of success tonight. I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon. But in this one, it's a Friday night game. We got SMU on the road at Temple. Temple's catching 21 now. It was at 20.5 for most of the week. Numbers up from 19.5. Total sitting at 54.5.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
So like I said, this line was at 19.5. It jumped up to 20.5 where it was at for a few days. Now up to 21 on most books. Public is all over SMU here. There are still a couple 20.5s out there, but I don't imagine they'll be around for long. As far as matching these two teams up on the field, we already know what Temple's going to do offensively. They're going to throw the ball because that's what Temple does. They drop back to pass on 63.48% of their offensive snaps this season. That's the sixth most in the FBS. But just because Temple drops back to pass all the time doesn't mean they're necessarily good at it. Temple's offense is just 115th overall, 126th in effective rush, 90th in effective pass. At quarterback, they actually have Kurt Warner's son, E.J. Warner. And the fact that this game's being played at home in Philly is huge for Temple because E.J. Warner's got some serious home-away splits this season. At home, he's completing over 60% of his passes, over 310 yards per game, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks, a 134.9 passer rating. On the road, those numbers dropped to 49% completions, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, 96.7 passer rating. That's bad. So this game being played at home is huge for Temple. So obviously we need to take a look at SMU's defense against the pass, and I mean they've been okay. They're allowing just 6.3 yards per pass attempt on the season, which is 22nd best in the FBS. They're all the way back at 70th in effective pass though. The last 2 games, SMU played Charlotte and ECU. Neither of those teams have a pass game, so we got to go all the way back to week 4 to find the last time SMU played a team that can actually throw the ball. It was the TCU game, and Chandler Morris had no problem making plays on SMU's secondary. He was 24-33, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 170 passer rating. It was actually his best day throwing the ball this entire season. Before that, they played Oklahoma, and that game's just weird, the numbers from that game, because they held the Sooners to 28 points. Dylan Gabriel threw for just 176 yards through the air. But the thing is, Oklahoma didn't throw the ball in the game. Dylan Gabriel was just 19 of 27, 176 yards. He did throw 4 touchdowns, and he had a 176 passer rating, so kind of a weird one there. I mean, I guess SMU did a decent job against Oklahoma's passing attack, but, I mean, they didn't really drop back to throw it much. There's really not enough data here, in my opinion, to make a prediction on how SMU's defense will perform against E.J. Warner dropping back to pass 40, 50, 60 times. He dropped back to pass 65 times last game. I actually think Temple's going to score some points in this one. But on the other side of the ball, this is where it gets really tough to make a case for Temple. The Owls defense just can't stop anybody right now. In their last 4 games, Temple's allowing over 45 points a game and 524 yards per game. Temple can't stop a faucet right now. And SMU defensively may be a little bit suspect, but the offense is pretty good. 53rd overall, 41st in effective pass. Preston Stone's having himself a good season at quarterback here. Yes, there's a bit of concern with his home-away splits. He's definitely been much better at home, and this one's on the road at Temple. 65% completions at home. That drops to 51.7% on the road. Yards per attempt down a full 2 yards. Definitely been much better at home. Now, a big part of that is probably the fact that SMU's had a cupcake schedule at home, but still something to take a look at. Last week, SMU went on the road at East Carolina, and they did win and cover the 11.5, but that one came down to the wire. In the fourth quarter, ECU had the ball down 14-10. They threw a bad pick 6, and then SMU obviously ended up covering at the end. But it was close. Laying 20.5 points or 21 points on the road seems insane, especially when it's with the heavy public side, but I just don't see how Temple can possibly stop this SMU offense in this game. So I actually think SMU covers the number here. I actually already bet it at 20.5 because I don't think that's going to be available much longer. But I think my favorite bet in this one might be the over at 54.5. Both teams throw the ball a lot, which usually results in more points. Won't be a big bet, so I got a half unit on SMU to cover the 20.5 already. I'll probably put another half on the over at 54.5. If you want my top bets, parlays of the day, if you want to join our Discord, or if you want to get the picks from all sports, head over to KyleKirms.com. Everything's right there on the homepage. College football week 8 continues. We're having a great week. Let's keep it rolling. Remember to bet responsibly. Let's start this weekend off properly. I'll talk to you in the Discord.